Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, it's Anelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So we had another solid World Series game last night. Dodgers end up winning the game, close one. They go up 3-2 in the series. Now, huge play here in the bottom of the fourth. If you didn't see it, let's set it up for you, and then we're going to talk about it. So it's a 3-2 game. Bottom four, 2 outs. Kiermaier's at the plate. Runners on first and third. They actually had runners at first and third with nobody out. Now we're at 2 outs, still haven't scored a run. Margot's on third. Really good base runner, good speed. And this is what happens. Kershaw comes set. Margot's down the line. He takes off for home, slides in, and he is out. Very close play. They end up not reviewing it, but it's very, very close. Here's another look, and then we'll talk about it. Just barely gets him. Okay, so let's talk about a few things, and then I want to get into the specifics of the play. So the first thing is when Margot's on third right here, the Rays' win expectancy is 42.1%. If he steals home, it goes up to 54.2% if he's successful. If he is out at home, it goes down to 35.6%. Okay, so in total, it was a cost of 0.065 wins compared to a benefit of 0.121 wins. So Tom Tango, who is obviously a really smart guy, MLB's senior data architect, he went through all the numbers. He said the risk is worth it if Margot thought that he had at least a 35% chance of being safe. Now, I'm not a math magician. I know it's a mathematician, but I like to call it a math magician. But for me personally, I didn't have an issue with him trying to steal here. For me, you've got a lefty up facing a very good lefty. Kiermaier is not a great hitter. If you've got a great hitter up, I don't do it. You've also have a really good base runner at third. You've got a fast base runner. Then you've got Kershaw, who has this unorthodox set where he comes set, he puts his hands way up in the air like this, and then he comes down slowly. Right? And so as a base runner, you're timing this out. So this is clearly something that they have talked about. There have been other base runners in the past that have tried to steal home on Kershaw. So you can see he's timing this out. So he starts to walk down the line right here. So he's walking. He's waiting for him to put his hands up. Once his hands come to the top, you see him taking off right here. Right? Now, this is a really good job by the Dodgers. You've got Muncy, who's screaming at first. He said he screamed home, home, home. It sounds like he's screaming step off, step off, step off. Either way, he's screaming at first base. You see Kershaw quickly step off and throw the ball home here for the out. And it just gets him, right? So it's a really good job by the Dodgers, by Muncy, by Kershaw being aware of it and quickly stepping off. Now, as an offensive team, 2 things you're hoping for. 1, you hope that you just beat it, which he almost did. 2, you're hoping that you cause a balk, right? And so for Kershaw, at this point right here, if he lowers his hands, he's going to be safe at home, right? It's going to take too long. And so what you have to do is you have to step off the back of the mound right here, right? So he steps off behind the rubber. If he flinches, if he does anything else but what he did, the runner's going to be safe, either because he's going to beat it or it's going to be a balk. So he steps off quickly and makes a very quick throw home, hits him in the chest, and just tags him out, right? So everything had to go perfectly to be able to get Margot at the plate. Now, a couple other things to talk about. No fans in the stands. Would it have changed if there were fans in the stands? People screaming and yelling. Maybe you don't hear Muncy screaming, step off, step off, step off. Possibly. I don't get a really good look at him here. I was hoping this angle right here, we could see Muncy maybe pointing. He said that he screamed and started pointing at home, screaming home, home, home. I do hear him say step off, step off. At least that's what I think I hear him say. And so if we're playing with fans in the stands, again, does Kershaw hear him scream that? Obviously, if he's pointing, then Kershaw probably sees him point. So it is something interesting to consider. Now, another thing is Kershaw said that he and Muncy have practiced this before because teams had faked stolen home a couple of times on them. And there's been 2 other players in the past that have stolen home on him. Both were unsuccessful. The last one was 2015. Carlos Gomez tried it. And so this is something they prepare for, with kind of that unorthodox lift above the head. And with teams trying it in the past, they had talked about it and prepared. Again, it hasn't happened a lot. You got to think there's a lot of times a runner's been on third that guys haven't stolen home. So this is a really, really good job by the Dodgers and really good job by Kershaw, the veteran guy that he is. Now, a couple of quick quotes. Dave Roberts, he said, "I was surprised. We don't see that very often or at all with a savvy player like Clayton." So, translation, you guys are idiots. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't really say that, but maybe he is thinking it. Margot, he said it was his decision. So, here's his quote. "It was my decision. It was 100% my decision. I thought it was a good idea." They asked Kevin Cash, manager of the Rays, about it. He said, "I think we try to do things and make decisions and allow players to be athletic and be the athletes they are. And if Manny felt that he had a read on it for whatever reason, it's tough for me to say yes or no just because he's a talented runner." In my opinion, they've obviously talked about this in the past. There's no way that Margot got there and just said, this seems like it might be a good time to steal home off Kershaw. Let me go for it. I'm sure they talked about it and said, if we get in this situation, I even wonder if the third base coach at all had come over to him and said, "Hey, take a peek here, see if we can get it," something like that. Typically, that's going to happen. So this is not, this was premeditated. They talked about this. I'm 100% sure they've talked about this in the past. And this was Margot's decision. Yes, he said, okay, I'm going to go on this pitch, but this is something that they had to have talked about. And then Kiermaier, who was at the plate, said, "I was a little surprised. It was a gutsy move, and it didn't work out at that time, but Manny is a great base runner. He's not afraid to take risks. I didn't have a problem with it." So Kiermaier saying, "What the hell, guys, let me hit there." Anytime a guy steals home, or you have first and third, and the guy at first tries to get picked off to get the runner home, or something like that happens as a hitter, you're like, man, these guys don't have any faith in me. They don't think I can hit. I'm not saying he thought that, but maybe he did a little bit. But again, I didn't think it was a horrible call. I thought it was really close. I thought the Dodgers executed perfectly on it. I think any little tiny tenth of a second mess up and he's safe at home. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me your thoughts down there. That's all we have. We'll talk to you later.